Summer is fast approaching, and soon many of you will be coming here to Colorado to enjoy a vacation in the spectacular beauty of Rocky Mountain National Park. Now, one of the most important things you need to know is that this summer, Rocky Mountain National Park will once again be implementing its timed entry permit system. The National Park established the timed entry permit system to address overcrowding. Before it was implemented, it was so busy that people were parking on the sides of busy roads and even in the delicate meadows. Toilets and trash cans were overflowing, and the most popular hikes were more like lines at Disneyland than experiences in nature. So the timed entry permit system spreads out visitation during the busiest times, reducing congestion and helping you to experience the natural world here in Rocky Mountain National Park. In this video, I give you an overview of how the permit system works. If you're already familiar with Rocky's permit system from the previous years and just want to know what's new, then I suggest that you skip to the end where I list a couple of changes that will be implemented this year. Now, the timed entry permit system is only implemented during the busiest season. So if you plan your visit for the slower times, such as in winter, you will not need a permit. In 2024, the timed entry permit system will begin on May 24th, and it will continue through October 20th. Between these dates, you must have a timed entry permit to enter the park during peak hours, along with a National Park Pass. The pass can be easily purchased at the park entrance when you arrive. However, the timed entry permit must be reserved online and in advance. These permits are not available at the entrance stations nor at the visitor centers. Now, there are two permit options available. The first is for the Bear Lake Road corridor, but it also allows you to access the rest of the park. And the second permit is for everywhere except for the Bear Lake Road corridor. Now, these two permits will allow you to enter the park within a specified 2-hour window, but once you've entered, you can then stay in the park as long as you like. Now again, the first permit option covers Bear Lake Road. This area is usually the busiest area of the park. It includes places like Moraine Park, Sprague Lake, Glacier Gorge, Bierstadt Lake, Cub Lake, Sky Pond, Mills Lake, Lake Hiaha, etc. If you want to visit this area between 5 a.m. and 6 p.m., then you will need to have this Bear Lake Corridor permit. This permit will also allow you to visit the rest of Rocky Mountain National Park. Now, the permits for the Bear Lake Corridor sell out quickly, as they can only fit so many people in this area of the park. Therefore, the park also offers a second permit option, which covers all of Rocky Mountain National Park except for the Bear Lake Road corridor. Now, there's a lot to see beyond Bear Lake, so don't feel bad if you don't get the Bear Lake Corridor permit. The second permit will allow you to visit Trail Ridge Road, Wild Basin, the East Inlet, the Kawanichi Valley, Horseshoe Park, Old Fall River Road, Gem Lake, the Colorado River Trail, Liddy Lake, Longs Peak, etc. Now, a permit for all of these other areas is only required between the hours of 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Now, if you have a reservation for one of the park's campsites, a wilderness camping reservation, or if you've reserved a horse ride inside the park, then you don't need to get a timed entry permit, as it's included with your reservation. Simply show your reservation at the entrance station. Now, your timed entry permits must be purchased online from recreation.gov. There is a $2 fee per permit per day. Recreation.gov is actually not part of the Park Service or the government, but is an outside company, and the $2 fee goes entirely to them to cover the cost of running the permit system. A timed entry permit covers one vehicle and its passengers. Now again, these permits can only be purchased online from this one website. They are not available at the Park Visitor Center or at the park entrance stations. The timed entry permits can be reserved on the first day of each month at 8 a.m. Mountain Time at the website recreation.gov, and the permits are always issued for the following month. So if you want to visit in June, you'll want to purchase your permits when they go on sale at 8 a.m. on May 1st. Now, if you missed this advance purchase option, additional permits are released at 7 p.m. each evening for the following day. Again, this is on recreation.gov. Now, all of the permits go very fast, so I recommend setting an alarm to remind you to get online at exactly the time listed. Now, be sure and bring a copy of your timed entry permit with you to the entrance station, either printed out like this, or alternatively, you can show the PDF of the permit on your phone. Just have it ready before you get to the entrance station window so that the line can move faster for everyone. Now, you'll need to arrive within the 2-hour window listed on your permit. Now, if you have the permit for the Bear Lake Corridor, you must show your timed entry permit at the checkpoint on Bear Lake Road within the 2-hour window listed. When you arrive at the Bear Lake checkpoint, they will examine your permit and then give you a colored sticker that you must attach to your windshield to show that you have a permit for Bear Lake Road. Now, once you've entered during your timed entry permit window, you're then free to stay in the park as long as you like, or even to leave the park and return later. Just be aware that you may have to face some very large crowds getting back into the park. There's also one exception to this. If you leave the Bear Lake Road area in the morning, you may not be allowed to return again to the Bear Lake Road until after 2 p.m. This has to do with reducing congestion in that area. Now, if you didn't get a timed entry permit, don't worry. You're still able to visit the park, just not entering during those peak hours. For Bear Lake Road, you'll need to arrive before 5 a.m. in the morning, or you can arrive after 6 p.m. in the evening to enter without a permit. For the rest of the park, you're allowed to visit without a permit if you arrive before 9 a.m. or if you enter the park after 2 p.m. Now, be aware that it can get very busy immediately on either side of the permit window, so I recommend coming an hour earlier or later to avoid the most congested times. Now, there are only 2 small changes to the permit system in 2024. While the Bear Lake Road permit will be required through October 20th, the rest of the park will only have a permit system in effect until October 15th. Now, reservations for the next day this year are going to be offered at 7 p.m. rather than at 5 p.m. Well, that's the wrap. If you want more details, you can find out more about the timed entry permit system and read about some of the most commonly asked questions on my website, RockyMountainNationalPark.com. I'll put a link to it in the show notes below. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn how to make the most of your time in Rocky Mountain National Park, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm always putting out new videos on this amazing national park. And be sure and stop in my gallery as well when you visit Estes Park. We'd love to see you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. To help you prepare for your visit to Rocky Mountain National Park, visit my website, RockyMountainNationalPark.com. For hiking guides, calendars, coffee table books, and more, visit RockyTrailPress.com. And when you arrive, be sure and stop by my gallery in downtown Estes Park. It's called Images of RM NP.